right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Rob Patry Live, the last show of August. Summer's almost over, and as I mentioned last week, we're going to be talking about winter. I really didn't want to, but apparently winter's a big deal around here, and we're going to be talking this evening about skating. And how we're doing that, well, it is how we're doing that. It doesn't even sound right. But we've got from, what's the name of the school, ladies?
Edge Above Skating School.
Yeah, see, I forgot that already. What, this is what you call a terrible host. Edge Above Skating. Very, very, that's a good name. Did you guys come up with that?
Yeah. We did.
Okay, I'll introduce you now. So you are Alison Van Guelpin and Laura Anderson. Yep. So you have started a skating school. Well, congratulations and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's over now. That's it. Thanks a lot. Good night, everybody. Thank you. It was a great show. No, you see, I compressed time there. But there's a lot more to it than just that.
There is.
Okay, so who came up with the idea, you know what we need in St. Stephen is a skating school?
That would be me.
Okay.
I have been dreaming of opening a skating school for most of my life.
Really?
I have.
Well, that's an unusual dream.
It is, isn't it?
Okay, so tell me why? Why did you have that dream?
I was a competitive figure skater for my entire life.
See,
yes.
that explains it. So, okay, first, do you have the white skates?
I did.
Aren't they pretty? Oh, you don't anymore?
I do. I still
You
have
still
them.
do?
I have my same pair that I competed in.
Wow.
It's really hard to get adjusted to new skates. So once you have a pair, it's hard to get some new ones.
It's an old friend, if you will.
It is.
Okay, so what are your new skates?
I don't
You don't have a pair of skates?
I don't have a
Okay,
pair.
now you're starting a, okay, so see, it's like a slam on the brakes right off the bat. You're starting a skating school and you don't have skates. Do you even know how to skate?
Oh, I have my old skates.
Oh, you have your old skates. You're going to be wearing old skates while you're teaching.
Definitely.
Okay. And by the way, I stop everybody again. This is a live call-in show, as I tell everybody every week. And I am hoping we get a lot of calls tonight. The number is 855-529-8826. And we want people calling in because I'm sure folks have got a lot of questions about this skating school. Okay, so back to you now. So you're a competitive figure skater.
Yes, Laura
So
and I
tell
both.
it, you both are. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we both were.
Yes,
Yeah.
we were.
So did you, before tonight, had you met?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so you've been friends, lifelong companions
Yes.
and friends. That's awesome.
We have a long history.
And you both skated together?
We
Yeah.
did. That's how we met.
Had
Wow.
the same coach and everything.
Exactly.
And where did you compete?
We competed all over. I competed all over Canada.
Wow.
One of my favorite competitions would have been in Thornhill in Ontario. They have a wonderful facility there, and it's so different from anything we have in New Brunswick. New Brunswick, it's all hockey rinks.
Yeah.
When you go to Ontario and Quebec and out west, it's all figure skating rinks, and it's much different. They don't have the lines on the ice. They have no boards, so it's much different.
I didn't know that. You know, that never even occurred to me because you're out figure skating. You don't want like NHL and the goalie marks.
The local logos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you don't want. Now you're going to be so you're going to be teaching school, and when does the school begin?
It begins October 14th.
Okay.
The program is 20 weeks, and it goes until mid-March.
And that's for boys and girls.
Boys and girls, yes.
Okay. And now I know it was a lifelong dream, but when did you say to each other, okay, let's move forward to the next step and let's get this thing going? When did all that start?
That started
This spring.
Yeah,
Yep.
earlier this year. I had been thinking about this for a long time. I'm a teacher as well, so teaching is in my blood. And I knew that there wasn't a skating school. There hasn't been one in many years, I think 7 or 8 years in Charlotte County. So I wanted to do this, and Laura had moved back to town, so I thought this was a perfect opportunity. I contacted Laura, and we had a meeting, and the rest is history.
And where did you hold your meeting?
At Honey Beans.
Yes,
Honey
our first
Beans.
one was at Honey Beans.
Okay, and what did you have? A coffee?
We did.
Any treats?
I might have had a muffin. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. But not a bagel.
No, not
Okay.
at Honey
No,
Beans.
Okay.
No.
Oh yeah, they don't have bagels.
No, I like their muffins.
You have to go
better.
somewhere else. Okay. Now I got to tell you a funny little story.
Yeah.
I know your husband, Tyler.
Yes.
Tyler Van Guelpin. And there was I was back in the winter. I think it was in February. there was an announcement made here about the town, and he and I were standing just outside in the big room. I call it the big room that overlooks the arena. And there were kids being taught how to skate or doing something. And he was just fascinated by it. And I thought, you know, how unusual that he would, but now I know why, because he's married to you and you guys are into the whole kids and skating and just love, which is great.
Exactly.
And do you know, I've been told by many people that this is a great idea in talking to different folks around town because it's something we need.
Wonderful, it definitely is. Yep, there's a definite need there.
Now tell me about CanSkate, because this is something unique to you guys, right?
Yes.
Or it's certainly in this area.
In the area, yes. CanSkate is a program developed by Skate Canada, which is the federation for all Olympic athletes, all Olympic figure skaters. But CanSkate isn't specific just to figure skating. It's virtually any ice sport. It gets you ready for any ice sport. So they've developed this program to help with the consistency too. It's the same all across Canada. So we'll be providing the CanSkate program, which Skate Canada has developed to ensure skaters' success.
Now, did you have to take a course for this?
Yes, we did.
Definitely.
Yeah. 3-day-long course up in Quispam-Sis, and it was for all of the Maritimes who want to become certified in CanSkate.
And now the kid, what's your youngest child that will be?
Our youngest will be
course?
3.
3?
Yeah, so we do 3 and up, and it goes right to 100 years of age. So
really? So you could teach me how to skate?
We definitely could. Definitely,
Really?
yes.
Because I was wondering that about the drive-in. I could use a refresher course. Is skating like bicycling? You never forget? Or?
It is.
Really?
It is.
I'm sure I've forgotten.
You're certainly a little rusty when you've stepped on the ice for the first time after years and years.
Yes.
But it comes back quickly. It's muscle memory.
I'll be honest with you, I was never a big skater.
Yep.
And I was one of those guys, you know, the ankles kind of cave in. And when I learned how to skate, it was my father yelling and screaming at me, berating me. And they got me little ankle pads to stick in there, and hopefully that was going to hold me up.
Yeah.
And it did.
No.
So I ended up with sore ankles and just a bitter taste for skating altogether. So when your mom said she wanted you, you know, I thought, I don't think I want to have anything to do with skating because it's a
Bad
frightening.
memories for you. Yeah.
So you don't do that to the kids. You're not out there
No.
yelling at them.
It's good because we're a buffer, right? So you're not having the parent try to maintain their patience teaching their
Right.
own child how to pick up the
Because how do
sport.
you teach someone to skate? I don't even understand that.
Well, it basically starts, there's a starting point of the program where you start with just basically getting up, standing up, and falling, because kids need to know how to
Okay,
fall.
those parts I know how to do.
Exactly.
Except for the standing up. I know how to fall.
That's
then-
the first skill.
Exactly, that's the first skill.
Right.
And then from there, it's a progression. And you just keep progressing until they develop all their basic skills, and then we go into advanced skills and even sport-specific skills. If there's a student that we know that's joining a certain sport, we can actually help develop some of those skills for them.
And is it something that they can do year after year?
Yes.
Like it progress along? Like are there different levels or grades?
Yeah, it's actually
Definitely.
funny because when we took the CanSkate course a really long time ago, you typically flew through the CanSkate program in 1 year.
Yes.
Right.
With the new CanSkate curriculum, a lot of skaters are in the program for 2 to 3 years because the levels take them much further with their skill advancement. So there's pre-CanSkate, which is for skaters who have never even stepped on the ice before. And then from level 1 to 6, it really covers a wide variety of skating skills. So for people who maybe don't know how to skate very well yet, or for those who might even be involved in hockey already or ringette, but they want to sharpen their skills. So they might even join CanSkate at level 5 or 6 and just really further develop those skills in a year or 2.
Now, do you guys predetermine what level they are at by watching them ahead? And
We do.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do a pre-assessment on them, and so it's not based on age groupings, it's based on skills.
Right.
So the groupings, you could have a variety of ages.
So
in
I
it.
would be like with 3-year-olds.
Quite possibly.
Potentially.
Well, I would think so.
For adults, we usually do a separate program for just adults, but
Okay.
for all other ages, you could be grouped depending on your
Okay,
skill
so
base.
this course is for adults as well.
There is,
Well, I
yes.
think that's important, and because I think that with the Garcelon, which is a relatively new facility in Charlotte County in St. Stephen.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've got the walking, track upstairs and the gym and all that. A lot of folks would want to skate, maybe haven't for years, and might be embarrassed to get out there because, they're going to end up, sitting down a lot on the ice, like me. So, I think that's a great thing.
I was actually at the Parent and Taught Skate at Garcelon Civic Center with my niece, and my mom was walking around the track, and someone actually stopped her and asked, "Is that your daughter?" And because she'd come down to talk to us a couple times at the ice, and they asked, this person was certainly above 50s, and they were asking if they run, if I would teach kind of lessons to them. So it's funny now, because this was in the winter and this wasn't a thought back then.
Right.
But now that we're coming out with this program, that's a definite possibility.
Yeah, I think that there would be a demand for that.
Well, we'll see.
Well, yeah, I mean, and again, I don't have a crystal ball and I can't tell ahead of time, but I would think that a lot of people would want to know. But let's focus on the kids again. So they come out and you're teaching them how to skate and all that, and you said that you can sort of direct them or support them in whatever way they want to go. So if a little boy or little girl wants to play hockey, you're teaching them differently than if they're interested in just speed skating or figure skating or just sort of fun skating. Is that all different?
It is, like the fundamental skills are the same, but we call them sport-specific skills. So at each level, there's sport-specific skills at that level that we can teach them if we know what sport they're going into. So we have certain hockey drills to teach them if they are in hockey. But then in addition to the fundamental and the basic skills that we teach them.
And are both of you doing the actual teaching?
We are. We're both the coaches.
Okay.
So which is wonderful because I was definitely hoping to have somebody else coach with me. That makes everything much easier. It lightens the load. And we can have more skaters on the ice with the two of us because the other part of this CanSkate program is that it ensures a coach to skater ratio of 1 to 10. Okay. So there's ourselves, and then we have program assistants as well that come out and help us on the ice.
And how many in a class would you say on an average?
We're 60 is our maximum that we'll take per session, but we're going to have more than one session, hopefully, per day.
In a day.
Yeah.
And this starts in October, and how long is it running for?
It's the 20 weeks is the program.
20 weeks.
Yeah,
wow.
So it's a long program, which is wonderful because the kids can have time to develop their skills, and it's not rushed. It's they have lots of time to really develop those skills, and before we move them on to another level.
And now, just getting back to you for a sec, Alison, you did competitive figure skating. So are you going to focus on that side? And Laura, you might do hockey, or do you both sort of interchange how you're going to handle things, or how does that work?
Well, we're both competitive figure skaters from our background. So I think, obviously, naturally, some of our tendencies will be sport-specific to figure skating, but through our certification, we're really taught to keep the skills broad. And a lot of our program assistants are actually hockey players.
Yes.
So we're going to be very fortunate with who's on the ice with us.
Right.
I think it'll balance it out quite nicely.
And they have those aces there, right?
Yeah.
So there's always, there's certainly a hockey sports vibe going on
100%.
in the arena.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can always fall back on that, I guess, if you need, right?
Yeah. And minor hockey actually was a big part in why we started this program.
Yeah.
Because many people from minor hockey were coming to Alison and I and saying, listen, when skaters are joining minor hockey, they're really back at the basics.
Yeah.
And we need them to know how to skate before they come to our program.
Right.
So, there's definitely a need for CanSkate. And that
And
was
now
a big
let me
push.
ask you, in different, in hockey, knowing certain skill sets that would be applied to figure skating or speed skating or whatever, are they all sort of interchangeable?
Very much so.
Yeah, there's a value to knowing different things, I
Yep.
would think, right? That's amazing. So now, you've got, so when is this registration starting? I've got here, it says it's opening tomorrow. Is that correct?
We're opening the online registration
Right.
tomorrow,
Yes.
Okay.
but the in-person registration will be in September.
Yeah, we're holding that at the Civic Center,
Which
September.
is coming out like next week.
Yes, at the end of September.
Oh, the end of
Few more
September.
weeks.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not right away.
No.
Okay, so online, but people can go there now to your website. What's your website?
It's edgeaboveskating.wixsite.com/home.
Okay. I apologize. Normally we have something underneath the screen, but I think we're having some issues. But okay, so
It's on our Facebook page.
it's on your Facebook
Yeah,
page.
and we can share that link easily on
Okay.
the Charlotte County TV
Perfect,
Facebook
because we'll
page
make
as
sure
well.
that people can go there and register at any time that they want
Absolutely.
and find out as much information. So again, I'm going to say to people that want to call in and have questions, and hopefully you do, the number is 855-529-8826. Oh, we have a call? We don't have a call. Oh, he wants me to introduce. See, Patrick tells me what to do. Because if I don't, I won't remember what to say. So he's telling me to introduce both of you again, Alison
Oh,
Van
okay.
Guelpin and Laura Anderson. Thank you, Patrick. See, he knows me very well now. And he says, you know, Rob, you got to remember what to do next. Okay, so we don't have any calls, but I'm sure we're going to be getting some very soon. Hey, I got to ask you guys, do you guys ever skate outside? Are there outside arenas around?
There's one in
Skating
Fredericton.
rinks?
Yeah, there's one in
Fredericton.
Fredericton.
Yeah.
Nothing local, though.
No.
Other than ponds.
Yeah.
Do people still do that?
Oh yeah.
think
Really?
so.
You gotta
Wow.
make sure it's really frozen
Yeah.
and safe.
Yeah, you don't want to
Exactly.
go out like in the middle. You
No.
can't, out of the Bay of Fundy, you can't do that.
No.
again.
No, it doesn't
No,
freeze.
you don't recommend that. Oh,
No.
because it's salt water.
Yeah.
You have to remember that. Okay, so that's not a good thing. See, I'm learning a lot. It's always good to learn. So how much does this course cost? What are we looking at for that?
For the program, our pre-can skaters, which are I mean, it's typically 3 to 5 years old is pre-can skate, but that's, again, it's just based on their actual skills, not on their age. Pre-can skate is $295 for the pre-can, and then $325 for the can skate.
Okay. Well, it seems reasonable because, like I said, you know, now you know, if I was a kid now, which I'm not. Of course, if I was, I wouldn't be here. But if I was, I would gladly put out $200 for somebody to properly teach me how to skate. Because now at these advanced years, can I say that? Is that safe to say? I wish I could skate because I'd love to. But I'm not gonna go buy a pair of skates and like I said, embarrass myself out there. And it was deplorable how I was taught. And it's good that somebody is doing that properly because that's a huge, especially in our country. We're known for that, right?
Exactly.
Like everybody plays hockey and skates.
That's right.
Exactly. And so this is a program that's for, you know, it's for sports specific, but also for if you just want to be a recreational skater. It teaches you those skills that you can have it's a lifelong journey.
And you get, okay, so now I know you get little kids. Do you get like teenagers and all that?
We do. We get, I mean, we haven't had the program yet, but
No,
when
I know.
when I
You're-
was in the
yeah,
program,
yeah.
we had a range of ages, and it really went up. I'd say that probably our oldest can skater might have been 14 or so.
And how old were you guys when you took the course?
I think I was around 5 when I started.
Oh,
can
so
skate.
you were quite young.
Yeah.
So is that where you learned all your basics?
That's where I learned everything I know was from my can
Oh,
skate.
so then you are a good testimonial for this program.
Exactly, and that's where I found my love for figure skating because the figure skaters would come on right after my can skate. Their session was after hours. So I would sit there and look at the boards and watch them go, and my mom after a while said, "Is that something you'd like to start?" And I was like, "Oh, definitely."
Really?
So that's where it all started for me.
And that's why you've been dreaming about it your whole life.
Exactly.
And Laura, what age were you when you
I
began?
started can skate when I was 4
Okay.
at the old Border Arena
Okay.
with the St. Croix Skating Club. And yeah, right after that, jumped right into the junior program, which is the figure skating level back then. It's changed now. And anyhow, continued on from there and eventually started skating in Fredericton, New Brunswick, which is where I met Alison.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, we have a call.
Awesome.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about the word nepotism? Because we have Laura, not Laura, I'm sorry, Patty.
Oh, goodness.
Patty's on the phone. See, I thought of you. Patty, are you there?
I am here.
Well, thank you for calling the Rob Patry Show. Now, you're not affiliated with either of these two, are you?
I am.
Oh, you
I'm Laura's
are?
mother.
Well, isn't that exciting? And you are, what, related to one of them?
I am Laura's mother.
You are Laura's mom. And what's your question?
Well, I just had someone ask me if they would accept corporate sponsorship.
Oh, that's a great thing. That's a good question. I would say yes, most definitely. We would accept corporate sponsorship. We've already had the question actually from parents of whether or not we have different sponsorship programs for skaters. So we would probably use a corporate sponsorship to sponsor skaters into the program, perhaps families who don't have the extra funds to put them in the sport, or maybe they have too many kids in too many sports. And so this would enable us to kind of make a fund for parents and skaters who need the additional funds to join in the sport.
Right.
Definitely.
So sponsorship is gladly taken.
Glad.
God bless
yes.
both of you.
Yeah,
Because that's rare. you know?
Yes.
Well, it's
So the
definitely
Jump Start
something you
program,
want.
how would people do that?
Pardon?
The Jump Start program.
The Canadian Tire Jumpstart program?
Yes.
We just applied for the Canadian Jumpstart program last week, so we're waiting until they have us on their website. And what that means is Edge Above Skating School would then be on the Canadian Jumpstart website, and parents would actually go there to apply for funding through Canadian Tire, and they would select the Edge Above Skating School as the program that they're applying for.
I know it was very helpful in the past when we did have St. Croix Skating Club that people did have those options to help some children skate that would never have the opportunity.
Absolutely.
So I think it's great to offer. Anyways, those were my two questions.
Thanks so
Thanks,
much.
Patty.
Thank you for calling, Patty. Have a
Thank
great
you.
evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye now. So what do kids need to get started here? Obviously, I guess they need a pair of skates.
Yes, all they need is a pair of skates. We do need a helmet that is CSA approved, which is
Okay.
a hockey helmet. Bicycle helmets and skateboarding and snowboarding helmets don't work because they're designed for just a one hit. We need a helmet that's designed
multiple
for
hits.
multiple hits.
Just for all the falling that you know
Exactly.
might
Yeah.
take place.
Of course, sure, which is
Exactly.
going to be commonplace.
Yep, when you're just starting out. But other than that, a skates, a helmet, and just some warm clothing.
And the desire to learn.
Exactly.
And warm clothing, because you want to be well dressed. And do you wear mittens or little gloves?
Mittens or gloves, whatever they're comfortable with, and preferably layers too, because it does end up getting warm after they're out there for a while. The program
Right.
is 50 minutes long, so.
Right.
And especially too, you don't want to bundle them up to the point where they're kind of like little Michelin men
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
ice, because then when they do
Like in a
fall,
Christmas story.
Right.
Exactly.
exactly like that, because then when they do fall, they can't get back up
Right.
because their clothing is
inhibiting that.
See, that would be me.
Yeah.
I'd be that little kid
You are
all
automatically
bundled
at a
up.
disadvantage.
Yeah.
And you'd fall down, and then I'd need some help.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is Rob Patry Live. We're on the air with Alison Van Guelpin and Laura Anderson, and we're talking about skating, and we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, there I am. I can see. Yeah, see, I again, as I always say, I have a sense. It's an innate sense of when the cameras are on and we're live in the studio. And tonight we're talking about skating with Alice Van Guelpin and Laura Anderson. I'm Rob Patry, in case you haven't heard that enough times tonight. and we're live coming to you from lovely St. Andrews by the Sea. And we're talking tonight about your skating school, which is skating above the edge, is that it? Or skating around the edge? I'll get it.
Edge above.
Edge above skating.
Yes, Edge above skating school.
I did say that was a great name. Now, who came
Thank
up
you.
with that? Both of you? Or did I ask that already?
No.
You know, it's
We did together. We came up with it together.
together. It was a mutual
I
decision.
think even Tyler had a hand in it.
I
didn't
think
he?
so too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did he?
I think he did.
How do I get him to call in? Tyler, if you, oh, you know what? He's probably not even watching, is he? Is he out there?
No,
out
he's
prepping.
He's doing
he's
something.
prepping for bear hunting.
For bear hunting.
Yes, he's a big
Where's
hunter.
oh, real bear hunting? Jeez. Yeah, I didn't know that. Anyway, we'll talk about that on another
He already
show.
knows how to skate, so he's
Does he
good.
know how to skate?
Yes,
Did
he
you
does.
teach him how to skate?
No, but I helped him. I helped him refine his skill.
No, I don't mean to be nosy, but how long have you been married?
We've been married 1 year.
1 year. Okay. Is it like your anniversary?
It's a little after anniversary.
Okay.
July 23rd was our anniversary.
Well, ours was July 26th.
Was it?
30 something years.
Congratulations.
Thank you, and congratulations to you.
Thank
now,
you.
was it a prerequisite that he knows how to skate when you married him?
No, I knew I could teach him.
Okay.
I knew I could teach him. I
And-
taught him how to swim too. So.
Really? Okay. See, he gives me the impression that he knows all these things.
I
ahead of
know.
time. But okay, so now did you guys skate together now?
Tyler and I?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Holding
have.
hands?
We've
That's romantic.
skated. We've skated together a few times here. Actually, we've done
Really?
the free skate here.
Okay, and you are you married, Laura?
I'm not married,
Okay.
but I do have
You
a
have
serious
a
significant
serious
other.
significant
Yeah.
other. And are they skaters as well?
Yeah, he played hockey,
Okay.
so he's still involved in
So
the
do
sport.
I envision you guys kind of on skates at nighttime outside, and there's kind of a mist in the air, and it's very romantic.
Super
It is,
cute.
isn't
Yeah.
Yeah, little Barry Manilow in the background, something like that. Well, that's very nice. Okay, so getting back to the school, because somebody was asking, or you were asking, what time it starts.
Yes.
What time? Okay, now what days are it? What days are? Is it? Are they? Is it? What's the? So help me, Patrick. Help me with your wording.
With our grammar.
Okay, what day is it?
It's Saturday and Sunday both,
Okay.
but it's just one session per child. But the parents get to choose which session they would like to attend, because especially for students that have a different sport that they're involved in, one day might work better than the others.
Right.
So they get to choose.
And times, or do we know times yet?
It's morning. It's going to be the
morning.
morning, somewhere between 9 and 11 a.m.
Right.
Just depending on what session the parents would like to sign up for.
So you're not in the afternoon?
No.
No.
Just morning sessions?
Bright and
Yes.
early.
Okay, so I was thinking if I come around and walk, I can watch all this.
Exactly.
Yes, you can.
Well, I'll be excited, because I've seen little guys and girls play hockey, like little tiny ones.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's fun to watch.
It really is. And the CanSkate program, since it's been revised, it really is quite something to see. It's circuit-based, so the kids are moving 90% of the time. There's lots of props and teaching aids, and it really is something to see.
Now, that begs me to ask a question. What type of props are you using?
We have all sorts of different props. My favorite is the plungers. So you take
Plungers?
there's-
Good Lord.
plungers are,
Are you
great
teaching like how to unplug a toilet or something?
You would think so.
Yeah. What's a plunger?
The plungers are used either for, you stick them on the ice and you can put, the fingers that you get for baseball games.
Oh, like
you put those on top to direct students which way to go in the
Right.
circuit. They're also used, you take two and you take a pool noodle and attach it on the two tops of the plungers, and
Okay.
then that makes a little bridge for them to go under when they do their gliding.
So you're having them do little tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there like rings of fire?
We don't go that far.
No, nothing like that.
Safety
Okay,
first.
so you're teaching them, and this builds, I guess, their equilibrium and
Keeps it fun too. I
Yeah.
know one of my favorite props, even from back in the day, that we still use now, is the parachute. Kids
the
love
parachute.
the parachute. Yeah.
And what's the parachute? These
So-
things are starting to frighten me.
You know, it's
plunger and the
colorful-
parachute.
The big colorful tent-like thing, and usually some program assistants and the coaches would stand on the side, throw up the parachute, and the kids would have to skate under it as quickly as they could.
Okay, so again, just techniques and how
Yeah.
to. Okay, very good. Now, what about stopping? That was always a problem for me. And I just would skate and just sort of hit the boards
yeah.
and just use my hands, and then I stop. But there's fancy ways to stop.
There
Is
is.
that a
There
big
is.
part of the program? I would think.
It is. It is. There's many different ways to stop. We teach, again, it's a progression. So we start with the 2-foot stop that's almost mimics when you're skiing.
Yeah.
We start with that, and then eventually they'll do a 2-foot stop to one side, and then eventually they'll be able to stop with 1 foot.
Really? Wow. See, that's what, again, that's what I'd like to know.
Yeah.
Because not stopping is not good.
No, it's not. It's not.
Wow. So now, do you teach the? Okay, now I know, and again, I'm getting back to the figure skating thing. But do you teach them like how to spin or anything like that?
Yes, definitely. Well, actually, even from level 1 onward, they're learning how to turn,
Yeah.
and eventually they will learn a spin. And
Right.
surprisingly, that's very, very useful in hockey too, because they need to know how to turn quickly from forward to backward or backward to forward,
Yeah.
depending on what position they're playing.
Sure.
So spinning is really useful, and it's evident throughout the whole entire curriculum.
Well, that's why I'd mentioned a while ago that knowing different skills of these different sports would help, right?
Exactly. CanSkate the graduates of CanSkate have gone on to be NHL players, Olympic speed skaters, Olympic ringette players as well. So the CanSkate has many different graduates.
Now, what's ringette? I'm not familiar with ringette.
Ringette is the same. It's really close to hockey, except the sticks don't have the end part of it. It's just ends up at a point, and instead of a puck, it's a ring. But it's still got the
And
same
it's on
premise as
ice?
hockey. Yeah.
And you skates?
Yeah, it's pretty much everything else is the same as hockey.
I've not heard of this.
No?
And it's like spears? They
No,
throw
not
at each
spears.
other? You're trying to impale your opponent? Or?
No.
No, it's nothing like that.
No,
Not
it's
violent.
just like a hockey stick,
Okay.
except it doesn't have the end.
See, as you
piece
can
of it.
see, I'm not really sports-minded, and we don't have kids, so I'm not familiar with all these things. But it's fascinating. But I thought, well, maybe today people are throwing spears at each other. I don't know. It's nothing that violent.
No.
Because
No,
hockey
thankfully.
used to be a violent sport.
It did.
I think they've calmed it down, though.
Yes, after
Well,
the
they've done their
concussion.
best, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and girls and boys play hockey now together?
Oh, yeah.
They do.
Yep.
Definitely.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
To what level?
I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that it's certainly, in the Timbits
Yes.
age and whatnot, but I don't know at what age they split off and go girls teams and boys teams, certainly before high school, I imagine. But I remember in high school watching teams from away where there were girls playing on boys teams.
Okay.
Yep.
And do parents talk to you about that? Like, oh, I want my daughter to be playing hockey, or I want my son to do that. Do they have sort of a goal or a vision in mind?
I think some parents do. Yeah, some parents have a goal, or even the skaters themselves. Some of them have their own goals, but it just depends on the family.
Right. And then, but basically we're talking about learning all of these skills to sort of apply to where you want to go as your interests lie.
Exactly.
Okay. So now we've covered all these things. See, I'm going by all your notes because again, I'm not a big sports guy. Don't have kids. Although I would like to learn how to skate again. Now here I've got something. Here's a question for you. How can someone apply to be a program assistant? So you're looking for people to help you.
Yes, we are.
We are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is volunteer work?
Well, it's volunteer, but it's also incentivized. So we are going to be offering some gift card incentives
Okay.
as a little form of payment.
Right.
To thank our program assistants for helping us out.
Yeah.
But they can apply by going on our Facebook page. We shared a link there. There's an online application, or they can email us at edgeaboveskating@gmail.com.
Okay.
Yep.
And what type of assistance are you looking for? What type of help do you need?
You can be preferably, I think, grade 6 and up.
Okay.
But I know we already have many adults that have applied to be program assistants as well.
Okay.
And we're looking for someone who's energetic, patient. Preferably they have some sport-related experience
Yes.
and some ice skating experience.
Okay, so they have to know how to skate?
They do
Yes.
have to know how to skate and
Okay,
support.
let me scratch that
Yeah.
off because I was just thinking, how do I get some of these cards? Like might be like Pizza Delight or something if they're watching, and but I have to know how to skate, so
You do.
I'll scratch my name off of that.
Just some basic skating skills is
Oh,
all
really?
we
Well,
need.
I might be able to swing by. And you have-
Stopping's one of them, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, forget that then. And what about tying your laces? Do they use laces, or is there Velcro, or is there some sort of magical way to tie your skates today? I don't know.
Depends on what kind of skates
Skate you have.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Parents do most of the lacing up. Sometimes we have to readjust because sometimes they'll do the hockey thing where they put the laces around the back of the ankle.
Right.
And we just can't have that because that's not very good for the ankles.
Right. Yeah, and the ankles are really a major thing, isn't
As
it? When
you
you're
know.
Yeah.
As I know,
Yeah.
yeah. And so, I mean, that's something you have to be very cognizant of with beginners, that the ankles are not always ready to stand.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And a lot of it too has to do with the boot that they're selecting, the skate itself. So if the skate doesn't have a proper fit, then their ankles could lean in or lean out.
Right.
And the other thing that we learned at our certification, when you certainly start with CanSkate, you're not going to go to a sports store necessarily and buy the most expensive skate for your kid, right? Oftentimes we're going to Canadian Tire or Walmart or a big box store and buying a generic skate boot.
Right.
So the gal that was teaching our certification, she recommended for parents to actually flip the skate upside down and ensure the blade is on straight, because they are mass produced, right? And they're made in factories. So oftentimes the blade can actually be slightly tilted.
Okay.
And so just check that
Maybe that's
first.
why I
That,
have a
that might have been your
problem. I
problem.
might have had a crooked blade.
And if that is the case, then you can certainly return the skate and get a new one from the store.
Okay. And how often should you have your skates sharpened?
That's a good question.
It depends on how much you're using them.
Okay.
For our can skaters, because it's once a week and
Right.
just for an hour, they won't need them. They'll probably need them sharpened a
And I
couple
believe
times.
they do that at the Gar Salon.
Yeah.
They do.
It's a one-stop shop.
Exactly.
Wow. So now, okay, so we've covered laces and how to sharpen your blade and all that. Now, do parents I know your mom, Laura, when she
Yep.
called in, Patty, was sort of saying you can get sponsorship for kids that maybe the mom and dad don't have that kind of money to
Yep.
spend. And then do you help them with skates and that type of thing as well, or do you advise them on what to do there?
So through Canadian Tire Jumpstart, they actually sponsor the whole thing.
Okay.
Equipment as well as the program cost.
Oh, okay. So
Yep.
then they get
So
everything.
it's an all-inclusive thing.
It is, yes.
Because you don't want to deprive anybody.
No,
No.
no.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
That's really good. Okay, so now, so we've covered skates and skating. When's our next break, Patrick? Right now. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Alison Guelpin and Laura Anderson. Did I say Guelpin? I said that. It didn't come out right. It is. We'll be right back. Okay, so welcome back to Rob Patry Live. It's like a skating arena in here. It's actually getting a little chilly. You know what? I'm going to button up because the cold from all this talk about ice and skating is really getting me to get, I need a hot chocolate. I need something like that. So our guests this evening, Alison Van Guelpin and Laura Anderson from Edge Above Skating School. Your first year, very exciting, and I think it's going to be a big hit. I really do, because like I said, I've talked to a few people around town, and this is something that everybody needs. And like you said, there's nothing in Charlotte County, is there?
Exactly. No, there's nothing.
And are you?
As far as Blacks Harbor, there used to be a program in Blacks Harbor, and I don't believe that that's being offered anymore either. So we're really trying to bring this to the community across the board.
Now, are you both from the area? You're both from Charlotte County?
I'm from St. Stephen.
Okay, so that's in Charlotte County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and
I'm from Fredericton.
You're from Fredericton. Okay, so you grew up in Fredericton.
I did, yes.
So when you grew up,
Yep.
where did you learn how to skate? I know you took this CanSkate, but where was it?
I started CanSkate here in St. Stephen.
Right.
And then once I got to a certain level in the competitive stream, I actually had to start traveling to Fredericton. 6
Okay,
days a
so
week.
when you started, the CanSkate was here.
Yes.
Oh, you said at the Border Arena.
Yep.
And now it's gone.
It is.
But now it's coming back.
It's coming
so
back.
it was popular then when you were taking it.
Yes, it was.
So it's going to be popular now, even
That's what
more
we're hoping
popular.
for.
Well, it should be
Exactly.
because you're bringing it when you bring it to Rob Patry Live.
That's right.
This is almost like a global show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't want to. I think maybe global is pushing it a little tiny bit.
We might sell out.
But you might sell out. Now, is there any? Is there a kickback for old Rob? Or
We'll give you skating lessons.
skating
free skating? No.
Teach you how to stop
Okay,
finally.
good. Yeah, free props. Yeah. Here's a plunger for you. Okay, so that's good to know. So yeah, I mean, why wouldn't this be good? I think this is a great idea.
It
Absolutely.
is. Definitely
And I mean,
is.
we had Joe Tukotsky, the basketball coach, on a few weeks ago,
Yep.
and very popular. And it builds. It builds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is what you want.
That's
That's right.
exactly what we
You want
want.
everybody to start learning how to skate.
We want it to be what it used to be.
Okay, so we have a call from, where is it from, Patrick? I'm sorry. From Calais. That's in a different country. Okay, so you see, I told you it was global.
Right.
Vicky, are you there?
I am. Thanks for
Welcome
taking
to
my
Rob
call.
Patry Live. You're calling from another country.
I am all the way over in Calais, Maine. I'm about, I don't know, 20 minutes from you guys.
20 minutes. And you guys know how to skate down there? You've heard of skating?
Well, I'm Canadian, actually.
Oh,
Living
you are
in Calais.
Canadian. Where are you from originally?
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland. Good for you. What are you doing in Calais?
Oh, whatever I can.
Whatever you can. Okay, well, that's a good answer.
I have
And
an
you-
American husband. He's working here in Calais, so
And you have a question
I do.
for
I have
either
3
Alison
questions.
or Laura?
I have 3 questions I've been
3
sitting
questions.
on. Yeah.
All right, fire away.
Well, my kids are living here in Calais. I'm wondering if we can sign up since they're here in the U.S.
Yes, you definitely can. We accept anyone and everyone. And for Calais, I don't think you guys have a rink over there, do you?
Oh, I don't think so.
No, so that would be a perfect opportunity for you guys to come over and join our program.
I think they have a Walmart.
They
do.
They do. But when I took the CanSkate program and when I was part of the St. Croix Skating Club, we actually had a lot of skaters from Calais as well.
Awesome.
Yep.
So I guess the exchange rate will apply?
Yes, it will.
Definitely.
awesome.
In your favor.
Yes.
So I don't need to apply for the Jump Start. I'll probably get a similar discount just for the exchange rate.
Definitely.
Well, here's my second question now is, I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old who keep me on my toes. Do you guys have any sort of training to deal with kids who have, let's say, high energy?
We do. The CanSkate program is an inclusive program, so we accept anyone with anyone with special needs or a disability, and high energy as well. I'm a teacher, and so I have everything that we need equipped to deal with that high energy.
Awesome. So now, if I wanted to put my kids in these lessons and they, started acting a little anxious or whatever, can I go down and help, or can I get on the ice with them to calm them down, give you a hand, or how does that work?
The way it works is for insurance purposes, the parents aren't allowed on the ice. But if there's an issue when the child is anxious or upset, we most definitely will bring the child over and come find you and take them off the ice for a few minutes just to have that contact. And then when they're ready, they can come back on.
Okay, but I can still watch, right?
Most definitely. We
Awesome.
encourage parents to come and watch.
Awesome. Thanks so much, ladies.
You're
Thank
so
you.
welcome. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you very much for calling in, Vicky. Much appreciated. And I wanted to let you know, if I'm learning how to skate, those are, I'm going to be very anxious and scared and antsy and all that. So it's good to know that you're able to deal with people like that.
Absolutely.
We also have an off-ice training session for the first session.
Yeah.
So kids are able to see what the program's like. We go
Right.
through a circuit so that when they come for the on-ice session, that reduces some of their anxiety.
Yeah, and it is important, though. I mean, all kidding aside, I mean, some kids do get anxious about the whole thing, and it's a frightening experience. As I recall, the very first time going out there on the ice is not pleasant for everybody.
No.
We're not all naturals at it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So you have to deal with everybody in different ways.
We
For
do.
sure.
We do, but we're well equipped.
Good. And is there music while all this is going on at the car salon?
It's a big party.
Is it? Yeah, everybody, because now I saw you have events for, you said like Halloween and Valentine's Day and
Even
Christmas.
Christmas.
Are you doing different types of things on the ice?
Absolutely. It'll be themed appropriately. It keeps it fun for everyone. But making the playlist is some of the funnest part for us because we really get to be creative with our programs and with our circuits and how you time them
Well,
up.
both of you are very excited and very passionate about this. I can tell. You start glowing when you talk about this, which is good. I mean, that's what you need. You need a love for what you do.
Exactly.
Which is fantastic. Now, what about Ice-Capades? Do they still do that?
I don't think so.
Really?
I think it's just a different term now. I think it's synchronized skating, maybe.
No, but they used to put on shows. Maybe you girls are
the
too
ice
young.
show?
Oh,
Well, they
yes.
used to call it the Ice-Capades.
Okay.
And it would be like you'd go and you'd see a big show, and there'd be dresses and outfits and lights and.
Yeah.
you
So
know.
I mean, that's kind of
You guys gonna
comparable
start that
to.
up, or?
It's comparable to competitions for
Yes.
figure skaters, but it's also comparable to the ice show that we used to have in skating clubs at the end of every year.
Yeah.
And what we're doing instead of an ice show is we're going to be doing the Olympics.
Right.
And that's going to be a family fun day where actually parents will be allowed, like parents that know how to skate, will be allowed to come on the ice with their skaters.
Right.
Yeah.
And it'll be an end of year celebration to basically showcase all the skills they've
Oh,
learned.
that's so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very, very good. Yeah, no, Ice-Capades and Ice Follies were two, you would buy tickets to go and see these shows, and they would be maybe like a Walt Disney or dress up like Beauty and the Beast or something, and then skate around. They don't do that anymore?
They
They
do.
have Disney on Ice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
like
do have
that.
Disney on Ice.
Yeah,
I guess
this-
maybe they took it over.
Disney, yes, exactly.
Change the name.
Yeah.
That's probably why I said Disney, because I connected with that. Okay, so now, is there anything else you want to talk about? Have I missed anything? Because you guys, this was packed here with stuff. So now's your time to speak up and say, Rob, you've forgotten this or you've missed this.
Yeah, we do have a couple things.
Okay.
One of the things is the program itself. We don't just kind of come every week and make up our own thing.
Right, it's not just made up. It's not
no.
off the cuff.
No.
Okay.
There's actually circuits and diagrams and a curriculum that we're following all season long.
Right.
And so it keeps it, like Alison said earlier in the program, it keeps it like level across the board no matter what province they might be participating in.
Right.
So if someone from BC moves here,
Yes.
it'll look similar. It'll
Right.
look the same.
So you're following the CanSkate
That's right.
curriculum.
Exactly.
by Skate Canada. And then how we measure their progress, you can touch on that.
Yeah, so assessment is done every about 4 to 5 weeks we give them before we have an assessment day. And on the assessment day, we'll go to each individual skater, check what skills that they've acquired, check them off, and there's 3 ribbons that they get, 3 specific skills: balance, agility, and control within each stage. And their stages go from 1 to 6. So after they receive their 3 ribbons for each stage, they'll receive a badge for that stage, and that means they've completed the stage as a whole. So that's how we measure the assessment. It's a very strict guide. We follow the CanSkate, Skate Canada guide for the assessment, and then when the student passes, they'll go to the next level. And there's still, that's why there's going to be some group changing when after assessment days, a skater may advance to another group, and that's how we do. That's how we do
Okay,
assessment.
so there are some kids that lag behind, or they can't stop, or their ankles are caving in.
Yes, some may
that
take
type of thing.
longer, but
That's
that's
kind
all
of
right.
sad, eh, when you think about it. Don't you feel bad for somebody like that?
No, because you know
No.
what? They're still enjoying themselves, and everybody progresses at their own rate.
Right,
So they're still enjoying themselves, and everyone does progress.
Yeah.
They really do. The program is designed for proven success. So
Yeah.
there's no skater that's not going to succeed.
Yeah, and you guys are going to make sure of that.
Oh, of
Absolutely.
course.
And you know what? I've not seen either of you skate or run a school, but I'm fully confident that you'll be able to.
Thank you.
Absolutely, because
appreciate
like I said, you have a lot of passion,
We do.
and I can tell. And obviously, your background, your love, the fact that you've been dreaming about this your whole life, you will be successful. And like I've been saying over and over, this is something that we need. And the Garcelon is a great place, isn't it?
It's an
It's
amazing facility.
Absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it because it's a nice warm arena.
It
Yeah.
is.
And some of the arenas that we grew up skating in were very cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
No, I wasn't here when the Border Arena was up. I would think that was.
It was a little colder.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was very cold.
Yeah.
Now, do you teach the kids how to use a Zamboni?
Oh, yeah. No,
No,
we
we do
don't go
not.
near that.
No.
I'm sure Rob Doherty will be happy to hear that.
Yes.
So okay, so that's not in the cards. What
No.
about like, do you teach them how to skate with a stick, a hockey stick?
That's a good question. Once we get into more of the sports-specific
Yeah.
skills,
Not like necessarily the first,
No.
but down the road.
down the road, it's
Yeah.
absolutely an option for them to come on with equipment and skate, or their stick and whatnot. And next summer, we hope to host a summer camp.
Yeah.
And in that program, we might
Nice.
host one specifically for hockey, and then one more broad.
Yeah.
So that way they'd have a week of the fundamental skills and then a week with their equipment on.
Now, getting back to the basketball camp,
Yep.
I know that Joe had mentioned, and this might be something for you to think about down the road, that, St. Andrews, of course, a lot of tourists through the summer who bring their kids, and a lot of times the kids are bored,
Looking for something for
looking
them to do.
for something to do,
Yep.
and this might be a perfect activity.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And
Maybe
skating in
look
the
at-
summer now is really cool.
Yes, we're fortunate that Garcelon has their ice all year.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
like Laura said, when she was competitive, she used to have to come up to Fredericton because we were the only ice surface that was kept during the summertime. So it's nice that we have that opportunity.
Now, Patrick, did you ask me something? A minute left.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Boy, that went
We
by
are
fast.
chatty, aren't we?
Aren't we?
Yeah. Did you enjoy that? Was
Yes,
yeah, you had
absolutely.
fun? Wasn't
really
too
did.
painful?
No.
No, and
it
your
was-
jokes were good.
They
Were
were.
they?
Yes,
Yeah.
you are funny.
You know what? When you go back and watch this,
Yeah.
you're going to say to yourself, you'll look at it and you'll say, how did I possibly think that was funny? Because it wasn't at all. See, it's just it's in the tension of the
moment.
studio
Yeah.
at the moment it seems funny, but when you see it on TV, you'll go, oh, geez, this guy's
no.
not. Yeah, exactly. That is the feeling you'll have. Well, Alison Van Guelpin and Laura Anderson, thank you very much. Your school again is
Edge Above Skating
Edge
School.
Above Skating School, starting in October.
Yes.
Tomorrow you can go online and register.
Yes.
But registering in person, if you will, is at the end of September.
September 23rd, 24th from 1 to 4 at the Garcelon Civic
At
Center.
the Garcelon Civic Center, and the school will be on the weekends. The classes Saturday and Sunday.
Mornings.
Probably in the morning for
morning.
sure.
Yes.
You just sort of haven't figured out the times.
That's right.
Ages 3 to 99.
Yep.
Exactly.
Or
got it.
over 100 now. Let's, you
Yeah,
know what?
that's right.
Let's splurge. We'll say over 100, and then that way I can squeeze in under the wire. Great idea. I know that these two will do fantastic with the school. If you have children or you want to learn, or you have teenagers and they need some help with learning, this is a school to go to. Thank you very much for watching Patry Live. We'll see you next week. Good night.